Hello, hello, and welcome. So today we are, first of all, happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I see there's a few comments already, people who've joined. We've got Mike, he's from Comox. We've got Tammy from Vancouver Island. Derek from New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey, how are you? And so we are going to be joined today by my friend Scott. And I'm going to bring him on now. So Scott's
As I'm
from
drinking, another quick story.
Well, hey, cheers to that. I've got a little drink as well. This is my favorite drink from the Hyatts is a mango mimosa. So
Okay, there you go. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. I'll let you finish your introduction.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we just wanted to, things are changing on a day-by-day basis, and the resorts are talking about opening up again, hopefully soon. It sounds like Cancun's going to reopen in June, and the Hyatts are looking at a July 1st reopening. Don't know if we'll have flights there or not, but things are looking on the horizon. So we thought we'd have a little fun today, do a little trivia, do some recipes, recipe remakes, and also do a little just chatting about which one we want to go to next and what our favorite resorts have been. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And just to give you a little background on Scott, do you want to maybe explain what you're doing with your weekly?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I have a YouTube channel. It's linked. I guess Christine has it probably linked below in the description. What's kind of started when we went down into lockdown is we're stuck at home for the most part. So I figured it kind of started out because we had just moved to a new city and into a new apartment, and of course you want to invite all your friends over and have a housewarming and everything else, but that of course didn't happen. So the channel kind of started out, the idea for the virtual dinner party was to have everybody over to cook some different things and basically, talk to people and message people and have visually, instead of having them over, have it virtually. And it is kind of, it's kind of blossomed into being kind of a nice break throughout the week. I do it 3 times a week, and kind of pulling back some of my history of being when I was a chef. And again, now looking at different recipes for resorts that I've traveled to and places I've been to. So it's just turned into a lot of fun. So I'll keep going for the plan is for the time being anyways, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's really interesting to see you doing the different shows, doing them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I mean, it certainly helps me know when the weekend is because
yeah, exactly.
I actually know what day of the week it is. And I really enjoy seeing your recipes and your take on them, because what I find with Scott is that because you actually know how to make stuff and the background and the science behind it, it actually makes more sense to me now. And some of the recipes that I've tried that you've made aren't ones that I was overly excited about, if you'll pardon that.
That's okay.
But the black bean burgers, I mean, I'm sorry, but I was not like at all excited to see that. But we actually made it at home, and it was fabulous. So a great
Yeah,
vegetarian.
well, I think we're trying to do some different things. We're trying to eat healthier. That's one of the big things. So of the channel, like obviously I think I've mentioned it on the channel probably every time. We're really cutting back on sodium. So we're not having, so everything's really fresh and just some different recipes. But also I think the goal of it too is to make things that are pretty easy. I mean, I have a background as a chef in cooking, but I think from working 20 years in a kitchen, sometimes you want to, the last thing you want to do is cook for yourself a lot of times. So it's kind of nice to have some recipes that are fast, that are easy. And I guess with the goal of the channel, we are cooking live and making a dinner live, trying to keep it under an hour from start to finish. So for people that are trying to do meals at home that are a bit pressed for time, have a big family, or just don't like cooking a lot, it's perfect to follow along some of the recipes.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And so share that. There we go. So that was the bean tacos that you made. Was that last night?
That was last night. We did a black bean obviously we're kind of on a Mexico. Obviously love Mexico, so we'll get into that I'm sure when we talk about a bit more travel. But and I've got the cat in behind me here. It's black bean and corn tacos, and we did a cilantro yogurt dip not dip, but like a dressing on top there. So vegetarian tacos. Obviously, if you've been to Mexico, any of the resorts, if you're sitting poolside and you're not ordering like a shrimp taco or some kind of taco, you're missing out at the resort. So this is kind of just a play on that, and using up some of the stuff we had in the cupboards. And we're trying to eat more vegetarian, so that's kind of why you're seeing probably on the channel a lot of vegetarian items.
Well, and the other one, did I lose my picture? I'll have to go see if I can find it. But you had also done the Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo, yeah, we did. Well, obviously Cinco de Mayo, Pico de Gallo go together, and we did. There was some on those tacos. That's right. There was Pico de Gallo that I had made in the morning, and then I shared the recipe on my channel. So if people are watching that haven't seen it, jump back and check that out. The best place to have Pico de Gallo is poolside at. Well, I mean, if we're talking about Hyatt today, I would say for me it would have to be the Hyatt Ziva in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, right. Yes, yes. But also, what was do you remember the name of the lady at the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos who was doing the tacos?
Oh, the taco stand.
At the adult
I'm
pool.
horrible. I'm horrible with names.
Oh.
But if there's a taco at the resort, if there's a taco stand at the resort, I'll be there. And I'm sure I would have had one, and probably was fixated at looking at the taco.
Yeah, for sure.
Shrimp taco is my favorite at a resort.
Yeah. We did that one as well. Where's my?
Oh yeah, you did shrimp tacos on your there you go. Yeah, that's a good remake.
For people who are interested, we actually have, I've updated the description for this video, and I've added a playlist of all the recipes that Scott and I have done. So there's about, what do you say, 8 or 9 maybe?
Yeah, probably quite a few. I'm doing more. It's funny, you start remembering these from trips go past, and you go, that was a really good thing. It's never the same. It's good, but it's going to be similar. And there's a lot of things from resorts that I would definitely remake.
Yeah.
And mostly the Mexican. I love the Mexican. The best Mexican, you always say, I don't want to say resort. It's not resort food. It's 5-star food. Was the Mexican restaurant I'll talk about the Hyatt in Puerto Vallarta. The Mexican restaurant there was, when we had that dinner, it's amazing. It was just right from when you walk in the door, the smells were like, just makes you drool. And we like spicy stuff, as you probably noticed from our videos, but they had these like, you couldn't make them at home. I don't even know how to even start. They had these like pickled kind of peppers that they served as the kind of a little thing to snack on, and put it as a side. I don't know what they're called. But they were, we had like 3 bowls of them, and we kept bringing them, and they're looking at us and they're just sweating, right? But great Mexican food. Yeah,
that's awesome. Hey, Ben, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. And Miranda as well has joined. So we've got a couple more people who've come on the call. Yeah, when we went to the Hyatt Ziva in Puerto Vallarta, and the chef was explaining the recipes for the Mexican restaurant. And he said, he'd love to share the recipe with us, but his grandma wouldn't let him, because it was basically.
Well, we asked the same question, and they're like, "Well, no, it goes back in our family. Sorry, you can't have it. But this is, it tastes good, but you're not going to pass this on." And it was like going to the best restaurant in town.
Yeah,
right there at the resort. So.
Well, and the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, I mean, obviously they each have their own unique little things. But the Hyatt Ziva in Puerto Vallarta, I remember they would get those big vats of oil, and they would literally have whole fish. I don't know what kind of fish it was, maybe sole or I don't know, something smallish. And they would batter the whole thing and fry it. And my husband just loved it. Like, he literally, Dean would just grab it and sit down. And I'm not one for, I don't want to eat the fish when it looks like a fish. I want to eat it when it looks like fish and chips. That's just my quirky little thing. But yeah, he just tucked right into it. So I had a beer instead. It was all good. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about, I've got a little bit of trivia going on here too.
Okay.
So
I'll do my best.
And for everybody who's watching, we'll give them a chance to answer as well. Which was the first Hyatt Ziva or Zilara resort to open?
Is this to me, or is this to everybody?
Well, this is to everybody. But do
Okay.
you know the answer?
Well, I can't see the chat that people are typing, so I'll let them go a bit, then I'll take my guess. So let me know when I can guess.
Oh, sorry, and I'm being informed. It was snapper that they were cooking at the resort.
Oh, the whole one. Yes, I've seen that. Okay.
Yeah. So Miranda is saying she's guessing Puerto Vallarta. Mike said no.
Okay.
Give it another second. See if anybody else wants to throw in an answer.
It was Puerto Vallarta, I think. That was going to be my guess. It's either Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, Puerto Vallarta, I'm going to say.
Oh, we've got, hey, Melody, thanks for tuning in. So she's guessing Cabo.
I don't think it was Cabo.
Tammy's saying Cancun. Dean's saying Ziva Cancun. Okay, hands down, that is like, no. Hyatt Ziva Cancun was the second last one to open.
Yeah.
So
that's a newer one.
So if you're ready for the answers, the first one was Los Cabos. So Melody got that one right.
Oh.
And it was actually Hyatt's first foray into the first Hyatt branded all-inclusive resort in the world. Yeah. So and I remember when they first came out, it was kind of like, as I said on Ben actually interviewed me on his channel under Explore Informed, and we were talking a little bit about. It ended up being me mostly talking about the Hyatts because I have such a love for them.
Yeah, I know that from your channel.
I know.
That's okay. They're great.
Really great resorts out there, but I don't know. There's something between me and Hyatt. I don't know. I mean, and I've even got my little beer cozy here. I'm ready to go when I'm ready to switch drinks for Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Yeah, they, as I said to Ben, when Hyatt first decided to go this route, I mean, Hyatt's always been a five-star property, five-star resorts. And basically, I think they, they had all this great food and drinks, and they just decided, hey, you know what? There's all these resorts that are doing this all-inclusive thing. And that way people can budget and they know exactly what they're going to spend for a week's vacation. And so why don't we just raise the price and we'll call it all-inclusive? So they maintained the quality of both the ingredients and the cooking and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, as you know, and as you say, the Hyatts are just great for fantastic food.
Yeah.
So yeah, so definitely
the first one I stayed at was the one in Puerto Vallarta. That was the first.
And it's such a pretty resort too, with all the flowers and.
It's for the location there. It's amazing. You're in your own little secluded bay,
and
it's close to town. Yeah, we had a fun time there. It was good. That was years and years and years ago, though. It's time to go back.
Yeah,
and I think it obviously is where will we travel next. So if the next trip that I take is to an all-inclusive, it would definitely probably be, if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be the Hyatt in Puerto Vallarta. Definitely.
You still haven't been to Cap Cana.
I still haven't been there, and I saw all your videos on that. That would be a neat one to go to, for sure. But I like Mexico. You know me, right? We've talked about this, I think, before. I'm a Mexico all-inclusive. The shorter flights.
True.
And if there's maybe a direct flight coming up down the road to Punta Cana, I'll maybe check that out. But I like Mexico.
I think you just want the chips and salsa and guacamole.
I do. I like the food. That's the thing. It's the shrimp. It's the shrimp taco. They call them shrimp tacos, but they're like giant prawns in those tacos, and I can't. Yeah. It's hard to give those up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So next question: which destinations have co-located Ziva and Zilara resorts? So in other words, they're not separate properties. They're actually all part of one unit. So we'll see if people can guess the answer on that one. Oh, and Dean's asking, Scott, did you do the hill climb behind the resort? So they do the
that excursion. No.
yeah.
When I'm in an all-inclusive, I plunk myself down and I sit by the pool in the
Which is odd
shade.
because you're very active normally, so
I know, exactly. So
you're
it's the opposite of home.
yeah. So for those who don't know, and let me know if you have done this as well, please comment. Basically, what it is they do a hike up the hillside to a secluded waterfall. So it's supposed to be very picturesque. I didn't do it. I think I had a meeting. So yeah, a meeting in paradise. Like sucks to be me, but Dean did it, and I quite enjoyed it. So it was jolly good exercise. So Ziva Cancun, yeah, oh for sure, Derek, I totally agree. So the question of which resorts are co-located, Ziva and Zilara Resort.
There's one more, Miranda, I think.
So she's saying Jamaica and Cap Cana, and oops, Ben's saying Jamaica and the DR. Tammy, Jamaica, Cap Cana, DR, same thing. And the answer, oh, Scott, do you have a guess on this?
Well, isn't the one in Cancun is joined as well? No? I thought it was close to, like, it's close, isn't it not? Well, but it's not like actual.
I mean, it's within walking distance, but no, I don't have a map of this, but the Hyatt.
But not a connected building.
No. Oh, okay. So the Hyatt Ziva Cancun is up at the top of the 7.
Yep.
And the Hyatt Zilara Cancun is about halfway down the hotel zone, right beside Panama Jack Cancun.
Okay. So you can walk there, but it's not, yeah.
Yeah, there's like probably 10 or 15 resorts in between them.
Oh, okay.
And you also, the only exchange privileges that you have for the Hyatt Zilara Cancun is if you're in the Turquoise Tower, and it is somewhat restricted. Whereas Jamaica and Cap Cana, it's full access. If you're an adult, you could use the whole.
You can use both.
Yeah. So let me get rid of that. And Dean's commenting on the the hike up to the waterfall that they didn't take any beer.
You have to take it in your. You have to pack your own, Dean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the great thing, right? Because most of the Hyatts have beer available by the can at the bars, so you're not just getting crummy draft beer. I mean, I'm not much of a beer drinker, but most beer connoisseurs would always say that they prefer to have beer in a can or a bottle so that it's less headachy, a little bit more pure content. And Dean guessed Cabo. No.
Cabo, no.
I mean, it does have an adult-only section, as actually they all do, but not technically as Ziva /
Zilara there.
Yeah. So that leads me to my next question. Which resort has its own microbrewery on site? So we'll see what kind of answers people get on that one. Pretty easy one. These are kind of lowball. These aren't like my Saturday morning travel trivia questions. It's like
Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So who knows which resort has its own microbrewery? I know Dean knows the answer to this one. And Tammy should know this as well. Miranda better know the answer to this, or else Freddie's going to be pretty upset. Freddie being our sales rep for Hyatt Resorts. And we do have answers, but sorry, they're a little slow coming in on the computer. That's why we're having some issues.
I know.
Go on then.
It's in Cancun.
Yep. Which one, the Ziva or Zilara?
It's in the Ziva.
Excellent.
They also have they also have a candy shop.
Yes.
Was that another question? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, that was maybe a little bit too easy. But yeah, looks like pretty much everybody got this one right. And yes, Dean, to the last question, it was Rose Hall and Cap Cana, also known as Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. So yeah, Oh, hey, Nadia. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. Here's does anyone know the name of the resort, the chain brand of the resort that became the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos? In other words, before it was a Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos, it wasn't a new build. So who knows what the name of that resort chain was? And actually, it was pretty interesting because I had colleagues who went there the day after it became Hyatt Ziva, and they were doing a site inspection. They walked around and they said, they talked to a few of the guests and they said, how was it? How was the changeover? And they're like, we woke up, the 2 days ago, it was this resort. And then we woke up the next day and it was a Hyatt, and pretty much everything stayed the same, but they could already see things were being improved. So that was quite interesting. So Miranda's got a guess in on this one. She's guessing the Barcelo. Oh, Ben knows the Cancun one, but not Cabo. That's interesting. I didn't add that, so we'll add that as a little comment afterwards.
That was when I first stayed in, well, now the Hyatt in Cabo. It was this resort. A couple years before, about a year or so before it changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then did you notice much of a difference in terms of operations and food and drinks and
stuff?
Yeah,
it's the standards, right? That are always the Hyatt. Yeah. Hyatt's known for. That's one thing that's nice about with Hyatts, and when you have a if you have a favorite, whatever your favorite hotel chain is, right? It's the standards that you get to know, that you go, whether I'm going to Cabo or I'm going to Cancun or I'm going to Puerto Vallarta, you're going to have the same, very similar kind of standard. So it's like checking into somewhere you've been. Even if you're going to a different new destination, it's kind of nice that you're checking into something that's familiar, especially after you've traveled a long way.
Yeah, exactly.
Know what you know what you're going to get. You're going to be able to get your coffee maker and it's little things that always are nice with the Hyatts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And even we experienced that last summer. We did a fam trip in Cabo to a variety of different resorts. And at one of them, I was quite surprised that the bath towels were quite small. And I stayed on a few extra days in Cabo after everybody had gone home. And I actually took a picture of the difference in the towel sizes and sent it to Scott, because it was like the bathrobes were kind of like they just kind of wrap around, and the bathrobes kind of just wrap around. And I don't know, I think when you're at a luxury resort, you want to get that bath towel that's just going to envelop you like a nice warm hug. And yeah, so I know whenever I go to a Hyatt, they're going to have good towels and nice sheets, not scratchy sheets, which
the beds are comfortable, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the answer is Barcelona. Nadia said she remembers you telling her that, but she forgot the name. So she gets half points for that, because at least she kind of remembers. So we've got a little bit more commentary going on. Dean's asking Tammy if she's having a Dos Equis to celebrate. And she says no, but she's having chips and salsa.
Oh, there you go. Tammy, I know you should be Tammy, did you make pico de gallo?
Yeah, did you use Scott's recipe?
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next question. Which resort has the best oh, sorry. And before we go there, Ben had mentioned that he knew the name of the resort of the Hyatt Ziva Cancun prior to it changing over. So let's throw that one out there. I don't have a banner question for it, but who knows which resort chain owned the property? Now, they did a pretty extensive renovation. Scott, I think you recall, just that it like absolutely night and day from.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of what it was.
Oh.
It's totally, because it was an older hotel too.
Yes,
it was one of the first ones up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tammy said she didn't make your recipe because she didn't have cilantro or limes.
Okay.
So I guess that'll be on next week's shopping list. And of course, Ben knows the answer to that one. It is Dreams Cancun.
It was.
Yeah. And Tammy got that one. Miranda got that one. And of course, and Melody, good job, everybody. There is a Dreams in Cancun now, but it is it's Dreams Sands Cancun now, so totally different property. But this is interesting. Ben saying until fairly recently, Google Maps image was the old Dreams and not the Ziva. Yeah, Google sometimes needs a bit of help on these things. I know, especially after going to the Hyatt Zilara Cap Cana, it was a little bit confusing on Google Maps as to what the actual location was. And of course, I like to research absolutely everything about property before I get there. And I actually put the feedback in, and I helped them geotag it properly twice, because the first time they changed it back. But yeah, Google doesn't know everything, unfortunately, so I can only do so much with it. So we did that. Oh, yeah. So which resort has the best sunset views? Now, one could say this is a bit subjective, but I think there is.
Except all of them? There's one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is one where you are just going to get that wow shot, right? So if you know your geography, then this one should be a fairly easy one. So let's see who knows the answer to this one. I wouldn't say it's a trick question at all. This is a fabulous tasting mimosa, by the way. You should have had lime water.
I know.
All right. Oh, again, well, it's so weird on the computer here. I get a delay in the comments. Okay, there we go. And then I get like 16 ones.
Yeah, the lives have a bit of a delay. It keeps you from spammers.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's true. That's true.
PVR.
Tammy's saying Puerto Vallarta or Cap Cana. Hey, cheers to that, Ben. Nice.
Oh, margaritas, nice.
Who was it? Was it Panama Jack today on Facebook posted a pretty amazing looking cucumber margarita recipe? Melody, I think, didn't you make it already today? No judgment. Somebody in our group tried the recipe and said it was absolutely fantastic.
I was always partial to a spicy margarita.
The spicy jalapeno ones? Oh, yeah, somebody made that today on Facebook as well. There's been a lot of really good drink recipes.
Yeah, all the resorts were putting out different things for Cinco de Mayo. So there's some good ones to try.
Well, we've got a really good recipe for the spicy jalapeno margarita too. I don't know if we've
You have one on your channel, that's right. I think, didn't you have one?
Yeah, I think so. Did we include that in the
I think you included it, maybe.
Well,
I'll double check the playlist.
Down below. But, oh, she says no. I'm waiting for the delay. She hasn't had any yet, but she wants one.
Well, she wants one.
Yeah, hopefully, Melody, hopefully you've got some cucumber there so you can give that recipe a try. It looks like super nice and refreshing. So which resort has the best sunset views? Well, of course, they all have one. If you, for example, go up to the roof on the Hyatt Ziva Cap Cana, there's a wedding terrace, which is open. Great view of the sunset there. Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. You kind of have that sunset hue overlooking the resort. Cancun, you kind of have it, but it's sort of over land facing out towards the Rio resorts. Hyatt Zilara Cancun, easy for me to say. Sunset would be over the lagoon. And of course, Rose Hall. I don't recall which way it was. I think it was overland as well. But for sure, hands down, Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, right? I mean,
amazing sunsets there.
Straight out from the resort, it just looked fantastic. Tammy's asking Dean if he made margaritas. I just think he's having a Dos Equis, honestly. Because why not? It's just easier. Open it and drink it. Oh, here's a tricky one. This is an outlier that is probably going to be a little bit tricky for most people. Which Hyatt Ziva Zilara resort has the highest public swimming pool in Mexico? So I'm not talking about like the presidential suite where you might have a dipping pool or something like that. I am talking about an actual proper swimming pool, rooftop. Which one is the highest out of all the buildings, out of all the properties? So what is that? We're talking basically Jamaica, Dominican, 2 in Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, and Cabo. So that's out of 6 resorts.
I think I know, but I'll wait till before guessing.
This is where it's going to get a little tricky. So Tammy's saying Cancun, and Miranda's saying that the adult only pool. So that would be.
Isn't that the one that's in the over the lobby that's open? That's what I was thinking.
The Punta Vista Terrace, right?
Yeah.
So that's for Turquoise Tower guests. So that's when she's referencing. Dean's saying Cancun as well. And is that your guess as well, Scott?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. The highest pool. Mike says no idea. Tammy's saying Turquoise Building.
Everybody's guessing Turquoise Building.
Resorts, so you can check them out. Turquoise Building, she thinks, and Explore Informed is saying Cabo. And these are all still wrong. So let's roll with this a minute and just see what other answers people come up with.
Well, there's only a few more resorts, so we have.
Well, it's tough too because there's so many that the window of going to Hyatt Ziva Zilara Cap Cana kind of went. So.
Oh, so that's the hint right there. You let it out of the bag. They have a. Is it the?
No.
Oh, okay.
Point of reference.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't think there was a top floor one there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Hyatt Zilara Cancun. So they have, now this is a little bit tricky because it is part of the gym, but on the rooftop of where the gym is located, they actually have a lap pool. And it's actually overlooking the road below. It's overlooking the lagoon. And it's a great view out there as well. But there's some lounge chairs out there, and it's actually a great place to go for a quiet place to watch the sunset. So that is the.
It probably is quiet at nighttime with everybody's at the bar, not at the gym.
Yeah, exactly right. Like your options are you can go to the bar and you can enjoy a drink for happy hour at sunset or whatever, or you could go to the gym and you can drink water or an infused juice. I would be at the bar. Definitely. But that's just me. That's kind of an easy one. Which resort has its own water park for all ages? So not just a little splash park.
That's easy.
A real proper waterside park. Yeah, you definitely know this. Dean definitely knows this because he's been on them all the watersides. And regarding the last question, Tammy's like, she says, I guess she never goes to the gym. And Miranda says, same, meet you at the bar.
I don't ever go to the gym either at resorts. That's the last thing you want to do. Or vacation.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The gym at Cap Cana is like, I don't know, 3,000 square feet.
Oh yeah, that one looks nice. Yeah.
It's a awesome gym.
We never go to the gym because we're always up so early, catching sun. Yeah. We're always running around, taking pictures and filming and doing all that stuff at resorts. So we're up early enough. We're always tired by the time breakfast rolls around, let alone have time to go to the gym.
Oh, for sure. And, running around doing all the videos and stuff like that, you're getting so many steps in. And then by the time you're done, it's like, oh, gosh, just give me some air conditioning and coolness.
Yeah.
Or food, for sure.
Food.
All right. So we've got some guesses coming in. Miranda's saying Cap Cana. Tammy's saying Cap Cana as well. And Oh, um, I'm getting feedback about my whinging about walking around. Jean says, "Cry me a river." In other words, shut up, you're in paradise. Tammy's guessing she said, I guess she's saying maybe Jamaica. And the answer to that one is the waterslide park is in the brand new resort in Cap Cana. So this was a brand new build from the ground up. It took a while for the waterslide park to open. We were there about 10, 11 days after opening, and 9 days. I'm looking at my calendar on the wall. 9 days after opening, and it was the following Thursday. I think it was on November 13th or 14th that the waterslide park opened, which was kind of hilarious because I did an interview with Freddie, my sales rep, and was saying, "Oh no, there's no news. We don't know. It's supposed to be tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, whatever." And Dean's like frantically waving at me, and so I get off the interview with him, and Dean says, "No, he's trying to tell." He's like, "I was trying to tell you, the waterslide park is open right now." And I'm like, "What? Like, why are we still sitting here? Let's go check it out." So we raced over, and it's actually like really cool. I've done a couple of videos on that. And of course, if you're looking for videos, I think I've probably got, I don't know, Roland, who's watched rather a lot of my videos from Germany. I ran into him when we were back there in January, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's Christine Turner." And I was like, "Okay, well, this is my 5 minutes of fame. That's it. I'm done." But he actually counted up all the videos that I'd done. I think it's like 43 videos on the Hyatt Ziva Zilara.
There's one of Dean going down the down that
Oh, the kamikaze slide thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I did that one. Like basically, it's like kind of you go straight down. I did that one at the Sun City Resort in Johannesburg. And then Dean did it at the Atlantis in the Bahamas. Both properties were built and designed by Sol Kersner. And then the one in the Dominican, basically they created it the same, but you kind of take a turn as you go down. So it like totally throws you off. So everybody who went down, it was kind of like, whew, that was scary. Would you do that?
I would go on it. Yeah, for sure. Why not?
I was like, no. Nope. Yeah. I even put a challenge out there. Yeah, so Dean's saying the resort was quiet. That was the best part. I mean,
when it first opened.
Well, yeah, you go for an opening and everything's, there's going to be a few bumps for sure, but it was like, we got the whole place to ourselves. Back off, people. Stay home. We're good. We'll keep this to ourselves. Hey, Freddie, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, Freddie's here. Hey, Freddie.
And
Kamikaze, there it is.
Kamikaze, yeah. Oh, so you can see these comments. Okay.
If you post them up to the
screen, you can. Okay.
To the screen, I can. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Miranda's saying hi. Yeah, I actually I only did one of the water slides. I did the totally lame
Lazy
one,
River.
like for teenagers, and the lazy river. Yeah, I did. So that was fun. Okay. Oh, and apparently I haven't eaten at so they've got food trucks right by the water slides. And apparently I know they had chili burgers, chili dogs, beef burgers, veggie burgers, chicken burgers, and French fries. Total takeaway stuff. And apparently it was like the best burger these people had ever had. I didn't try one, but I know from, well, you've seen the other videos I've done. I mean, you can't shut me up when it comes to food at that place. It was so good. Just bouncing back. Oh, hey, Jason. Thanks for joining in.
Best beach.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's gorgeous beach there.
Yeah. Oh, when you get to the treaty, how do Portobello? Interesting question. We were talking about that a little bit during your show, if I'm not mistaken. And Scott, why don't you answer this first, and then I'll.
Well, I mean, totally different. So I'm partial. I guess it would. You know what? How would they compare? I mean, they're all great, right? Hyatts are all, like we've talked about, it's consistent across the board. So you're not
Mhm.
going to have a bad location. There's not a bad resort out of those three. I guess
Mhm.
for me, like when I travel, I take a look at like actual location in terms of getting to it. So
Yeah.
if I'm going to go on a trip, obviously coming from more Western Canada, I'm going to go. My first choice is Cabo because I love Cabo. It's my favorite place in Mexico. The weather is great. It's a dry heat. It's never really too hot except for the time we were there in August when it was like 1,000 degrees. But that's August.
Really close to that.
You know, and it's a shorter flight for us to get there. Then the next one would be Puerto Vallarta because it's a little bit longer than
Yeah.
and the location of the three, I would say Puerto Vallarta is probably my favorite Hyatt. It's just a little bit farther to go to.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the beaches in Cancun are absolutely spectacular. But what I found interesting is the beaches in Puerto Vallarta they're okay, but the water is not the same, right? But when we were at the resort in Puerto Vallarta and we were up in the spa on well, I guess it's above the lobby, so I guess it would be the third level. And we looked down and you could see the water was just like absolutely crystal clear. So that was pretty unique for Puerto Vallarta. And I think it's the way the currents go there. The water is crazy clear. Um, you know, the Puerto Vallarta property is a little bit on the older side, but they've just done a bunch of renovations. Cabo as well has more of that newer feel to it. I don't know. They're all great in their own way, and I love the vibe of Puerto Vallarta. It's just
I
so.
like the Puerto Vallarta because of the size. It's not a huge resort.
Mhm.
And it's the little bay there, that location, because obviously all the beaches in Mexico are all public, but with the way the resort is situated with the rocks on each side, you're not getting, like, if you've been to Mexico, like you have the people walk along the beaches. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't have with in the one in Puerto Vallarta, you don't have the vendors coming up to the resort, and it's just peaceful, and you're in there only really with the guests of the hotel, and
Yeah.
it's your own little secluded gem in the jungle, basically on the water. And it's Puerto Vallarta is a great little town as well to go
Yeah,
and
for sure.
explore.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you're really central to everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, you
Well,
know,
that's a good point. Yeah.
as Jason says, you know, foodie's paradise for sure. But also, you know, it's just a walkability factor. The buses in Cancun are as good, or if not better, than the transit system that we have here, except it's cheaper and it runs all day long. So you can go out to different beaches or different shops or restaurants or bars or whatever. And sometimes it's just we like going to the Isla Mujeres ferry terminal and just sitting there on the beach and having a beer and or a margarita. When my parents were in Cancun at the same time as we all trucked down there on the bus and sat there and had, I think it was like an $8 margarita, but it was the size of a fishbowl. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was massive. Mango margarita, bam, like so good. And they've got bungee jumping going on at the ferry launch, and you see all the people running around, and they're going to miss the boat and all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting. You know, there's lots of good people watching going on. That's for sure. And Jason was asking me before about Cap Cana. What's my favorite resort there? That's a really tough one. I would have to answer it by food. So the Indian restaurant, the curry, like amazing. Chinola, the healthy restaurant, actually has the absolute best filet mignon ever. Waves was the lunchtime restaurant. The burger was the size of my hat. I thought I was going to dislocate my jaw trying to take a bite. It was so big, but so good. But probably one of my favorite ones was Shutters, which is at the front of the resort, and you have to be in a club room in order to go there for lunch. But it's a Peruvian inspired or fusion menu. And you know, they got the chalupas, the nuts, and some sort of almost like a not ceviche, sashimi. Absolutely, you would love it. Like truly, truly fresh, and just absolutely
What looked
fantastic.
good? What looked good at the Cap Cana one was the mark. What are they? It's the market. Yeah, the market restaurant where they have the buffet and all the different, just seeing all the different stations and stuff like that. I mean, if you can't find anything to eat there, you can't find anything to eat anywhere, because seeing your videos, it was
Yeah,
just so many like so neat, so all the choices. That's what I like those for. I like going to the buffet for breakfast lunches, because then you
yeah.
get to try all the different things.
Well, and the really cool thing there too is that they would give you a takeaway box. So if you were hungry and everybody else wanted to go for pizza and burgers or whatever, you could go to the buffet and fill up a little takeaway container of chicken wings and fruit sticks or veggie sticks and a slice of pizza and whatever you fancied. Guess sometimes you don't want to order like a whole order of chicken
Whole
wings. You
meal.
want to have like one or two for the flavor. So it was really good for that. Dean was saying, I haven't read this fully. Oh yeah, the local cuisine, the Jamaican restaurant at Rose Hall. I remember when we went there, and it was at night, and they had a steel drum band playing outside. It was all open air, and they had some real authentic dishes. Like they had, was it Dean oxtail stew and I think goat roti, but real like proper authentic Caribbean dishes that you can expect at any of those. And Ben saying he was at Playa Harris in the fall, right across from the island. Yeah, yeah, it's so easy and convenient to Cancun. So yeah, so moving on to the see you later, Mike. Mike's got to go.
Hi, Mike.
Bye. All right, and what's the next one? Okay, this is a tricky one.
Okay.
Only those of you who indulge in silly TV will know this one. Freddie knows this one. Which resort did the Real Housewives of Orange County visit in 2018? Oh, and Dean's saying don't forget about the Jerk Shack at the Hyatt Zilara Rose Hall. Actually, the Hyatt Zilara Rose Hall was a pretty good foodie resort in terms of you'd walk down the beach and they would say fresh croissants baked first thing in the morning, and then they would switch later to pizzas. And it was all they cooked everything, the croissants and the pizzas later on in the day in a brick oven pizza thing. So they would have, jerk chicken pizza. And then they would bring around, you could get burgers by the pool and Jamaican patties. They had a chocolatier on site. I don't know if they still do. And also I recall at the one restaurant, they had a lobster mac and cheese. And like, you had me at cheese. Oh yeah, this is what Jason's saying.
Oh, there, mac and cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. Real Housewives. Okay, so yeah, Freddie says he knows. I think he actually watches that one. I like I know it's just silly TV, but I do like the Beverly Hills one. There you go. Admissions, confessions. Tammy's saying Puerto Vallarta, and Scott, do you have a guess on that one?
Well, my guess was Puerto Vallarta, but I know they do one there, but it might not have been that year. It might have been a different season, or maybe a different Housewives. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know that they've been. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, he loves it too.
Oh, Beverly Hills. Yeah, so I don't know. My guess would be PVR, but I don't know if that's right.
Well, I don't know, and Freddie, if you do know, maybe share with us. But I think that they've only been to one of them, and I think if I recall correctly, it was related to a promotion or a contest that they were doing, where they had people could go and they could win a trip and go and hang out with one of the, I want to say characters on the show, but she's not a character; she's a real person. But one of the stars of the show, I guess. And it was, in fact, Puerto Vallarta. So,
See, okay, I was right. I thought it was. I thought it was sooner. I thought it was maybe. Of course, no. We're in 2020 now. Never mind. It's all blurring into one.
Yeah, tons of ones. Freddie, were you actually on that trip? Were you there when they were there? And Tammy, maybe you were as well? I don't know. I'd love to hear more on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just turned this show into entertainment tonight. The Vancouver version. All right. And which resort opened first, Hyatt Ziva Rose Hall or Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta? This is a little bit tricky because they did open within the space of about 3 weeks of each other.
I'm going to guess at this one too.
Okay, so it sounds like, I think Freddie was at on the trip with them. Cool. That would have been fun. It would have been fun for any of the fans of the show to be able to just hang out. I think they had a cocktail party or something with the star. Excuse me. So just for being able to hang out. Yeah. Entertainment. Yeah, for sure. So Jason's guessing Puerto Vallarta.
That's my guess as well.
That's yours. Tammy says Puerto Vallarta as well. And I have to refer to my notes.
Does Freddie know this? If not, he's not going to have... He should know.
Yeah.
It's on your review.
Is there any other comments? No. I'm giving Freddie a chance to, or maybe he's just gonna slowly.
He's probably looking it up.
Yeah. Oh, he says he was there during the housewives visit. Oh, that's cool. So a little hint on this one: both of them opened up in December of 2014. So that's a long time ago. This 6 years ago. Well, 5.5. Crazy. Oh, okay. Well, this is going to challenge Google, because from what I could read, Puerto Vallarta opened early in December, and then Jamaica opened a few weeks later. But Freddie, if you know differently, then
maybe it was like the grand openings were those days. You never know.
I don't know.
Like the soft opening, they do the soft opening at the hotels, and then they have the actual grand opening. Maybe the grand openings were different or something.
Well, yeah, because there was a press release that I read about the Hyatt Zilara Cap Cana. Oh, maybe they. No. Yeah, it was Hyatt Ziva Zilara Cap Cana, and the press release said basically that they had opened up at the beginning of December, and I'm like, well, I was there in November, so it was open. I think it's just the terminology, kind of, soft opening.
Soft versus a grand opening. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to, unless we get some more info on Freddie. Oh,
okay.
So maybe what I saw was it's scheduled to open, and then ultimately, as we all know, that things don't always go as smooth as as smooth as planned. I'm like, look at this, like, whoa. Fan bases coming out in their fears. Don't mess with Freddie. Oh, he knows. All right. Oops, where did it go? There we go. Yeah, he said he thinks that there was a delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mike, for sure you can Google the answers. Absolutely. Actually, that was my last trivia question.
That's it.
But I do have one last question for everybody this time. Which Ziva Zilara resort are you going to go to when we can travel again? Don't know when that'll be. Don't know what it'll look like. But yeah, where do you want to go? Are you planning any trips right now? Are you investigating prices? Where are you feeling? Where are you feeling at with everything? I mean, I think right now I would probably book directly with the Hyatt through a travel agent, of course, because their cancellation policies are just so generous and lacking any kind of restrictions. Because you basically make the reservation, you don't put any money down, and then you do your final payment 2 weeks prior to arrival. So it's easy. And I think that's the best answer right there.
All of the above. There you go.
Yeah.
Any and all.
Yeah.
I'm with Jason. The Hyatt for me. We haven't planned anything. I was supposed to actually. I was trying to look up before I started the live stream of my. I was supposed to be going on a cruise from remember, like San Diego, and that was supposed to be
last week.
I think this last week, and I went to look it up. And I didn't want to log into my work email, so I couldn't find it because it's all been canceled. But that was the last trip I had planned. But so nothing in the meantime. But I think I think Puerto Vallarta would be nice. Once the weather, this is the hard part in being in Canada. The weather's going to be it's nice now. So the thing to go away anywhere hot is not on my radar.
Yeah.
But I think once the winter maybe hits, we'll be hopefully being able to plan to do something, and then once we know more with what's going on, unfortunately, this is kind of let's wait and see.
Yeah,
so maybe by the end of the year, we'll be able to get out of the winter and get somewhere warm. And if I'm going to a Ziva or Zilara, it's going to be the Ziva PVR.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dean says he's decided not to choose. He's just going to tour them all. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
We'll go for like, what did I say? There's 6 properties. We'll go for 6 weeks. Do a week in each one.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Tammy's saying Cancun or Puerto Vallarta. Ben's saying where we can get the cheapest flight. Well, that's the thing. Like flights are super cheap right now too. So if you can book it ahead of time, and if there's either a cancellation or you can get a travel credit, then that's great, as long as it's an airline that is going to stick around. So Freddie's adding this 0 penalty. You can cancel up to 24 hours prior. I think that's changed from the way the policy used to be. So I mean, there is literally no risk there at all. So I'm thinking Christmas on a beach somewhere. Seems like a nice idea. And I'm really leaning towards going back to Cap Cana just because I think the people there connected so much with us because, we'd been there twice in the space of 2 months. And Dean's still getting messaged from some of the staff there that, either connected with us through WhatsApp or whatever, and just checking in to see how we're doing and asking how they're doing. And, but yeah, I don't know. They're all so good. So lots of options for sure. So Scott, do you have any more recipes coming up? Any Hyatt Recipe Remakes?
I do. Well, I'll have to think of some. Obviously, I've been knowing with the channel we're doing live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So tomorrow coming up, I have to figure out. I don't know what I'm going to be making yet. I'll do a bit of research and figure it out, and I'll post it to the channel a little bit ahead of time so people can see. But they always go live. They're always going to be on anyways on Wednesdays or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock my time. So I think if you're West Coast, so that's 4 o'clock, and then if you're Eastern time, it's
6 p.m.
7 p.m. No, sorry, 2 hours. Yeah. So I'm always there, but if you don't catch it live, it's always going to be on YouTube, so you can always go back, and it's always fun to watch them live because you can comment and do like we did here. But you can always catch them on the replay. But I also have some other recipes that I'll recorded, not recorded live, that I'll have posted on there to check out too. So
yeah, cool. Yeah. And as I've said here, or put on the screen, don't forget to subscribe for either of our channels, especially with Scott's. Whether you want to tune in live or not, if you subscribe and you hit the bell, if you smash that bell, then you will get notified about future videos that are coming out. So if he's got a recipe on there for some kind of chocolate cakey thing or some kind of cheesy goodness food product that you just know that you're already salivating when you see the name and you don't want to miss it, if you hit the bell, it's definitely going to notify you, so you're not going to miss out on the videos.
There you go. Cool. That was fun.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate you stopping by. And if you are joining us after the live feed, feel free to put your comments below, and love to hear your thoughts on where you're planning to go next, which property is calling to you. Maybe you were trying to go to the brand new Hyatt Ziva Zilara Cap Cana and it got shut down before you were able to get there. Josh was in that position. He was commenting today, and he commented on several of my videos in the past. And he's just had to finally cancel his trip officially. So that's really sad. But hopefully things will open up again, and we'll all be going back there one day soon. So thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for joining me today, Scott. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.